Hello and welcome to week 2 of Critical Thinking Online. I'm Dr. Joe Morvick, your professor. I just want to share a few thoughts with you before we begin this week, just to help to tie things together for you, because as an online course I don't have that opportunity to talk to you face to face. But this is my opportunity, my way to really help communicate some important concepts that you need to know. I hope that you've enjoyed reading the preface, introduction, and chapter 1. And also this past week to get to know each other. I've put you into teams, and you'll be working together in teams in your threaded discussions throughout the semester. I hope you enjoy the opportunity to get to know everyone, as well as now your teammates from here on in. Important concept that is presented in the book is, as you think, so you are. And that is really says it's a kind of an equal side. A, your thinking equals B, your being or living. And so if A equals B, then why doesn't B equal A? So as you are, so you think. It's very important that you understand this axiomatic truth that as you think, so you are, but as you are, so you think. In this course, we want to develop both areas. If I can improve your thinking, and if you can improve your thinking, then you will also improve your being or your living. You'll be more healthy and more whole. If, on the other hand, if you can improve your being, you'll also improve your thinking. You know, if you think you're in love, your being will result. You'll spend time with them. So we know that. But if you are like sick or unhealthy, like you have a migraine, what do you really think? So there's a really axiomatic truth of that. That as you are, so you think. And like for instance as well, if you've been abused or if you've been raped, that'll affect how you think about abusers or rapists. So there's an interplay, and it's important that you understand that dynamic. Well, in the second chapter, I really introduce you to a definition of critical thinking. And that is, critical thinking is the disciplined art of thinking about thinking while thinking to improve your thinking. This is very important. And in that definition, you'll see how I outlined that in the welcome page. I present the 5 fundamental and powerful concepts of this course. And I put them as A's, 5 A's. The first A is that critical thinking involves fair-mindedness. The kind of critical thinking we're presenting in this course is fair-minded versus sophistic or sociocentric or egocentric in nature. The authors call it weak sense critical thinking. But that we are trying to promote ethical, a kind of reasoning that helps everyone, that pursues the best interests of everyone in a healthy way, including yourself. And that's so important in healthcare that we have that kind of mindset, especially as we're serving other people and helping promote healing in their lives in an effective way. But there's a second A, and that is that it's an art. No one thinks just like you. So critical thinking is unique to you. It's a skill that only you have, that is indigenous or really the way you think. No one thinks just like you. It's unique, just like no one sings like you. No one plays a piano or plays a sport or anything that draws pictures. You are unique, just the same way your thinking is unique. It's an artistic skill that can be developed, or it can be just sloppy in your thinking. And that's where chapter 1 talks about the skills or the traits that you're predisposed to that will help to promote your disciplined, fair-minded critical thinking. As opposed to the 9 traits of the undisciplined mind that most people default to. You know, you don't have to choose to be and intend to be undisciplined. It just happens. I don't have to be egocentric. It just happens. So I have to work to be fair-minded and acquire these traits that are presented. So it's a disciplined art, and that's what we're trying to do. So that's the second A. The third A involves analysis. That critical thinking involves you being able to pick apart your thinking. And there's 8 universal elements of thinking that are critical for you to be able to understand and to be able to do. And these are the 8 that we're using in how we're reading each chapter. And these are 8 universal elements. Anybody in the entire world, they're going to think through in the sound in a complete way, have to work through those 8 areas. So that's important. The fourth A, though, and once you have you've analyzed your thinking, laid it all out, maybe say like on the table of your thinking, then you need to fourthly assess it or evaluate the different parts. And the key thing there is clarity. But there are 9 traits. Are you clear? Are you accurate? Are you precise? Are you relevant? Are you significant? Are you deep? Are you broad in your thinking? Are you fair? Are you being logical? Those are the main standards to assess your thinking. But there's the last A, and that's presented as well in the welcome page. Please read that over carefully. And that is, it involves abilities. Critical thinking involves abilities. Reading, writing, speaking, listening, performing. Those are the key ones. In that performing, we talk about question asking, decision making, problem solving. Could be clinical reasoning. But of all those 5, reading, writing, speaking, listening, performing, probably the most important in healthcare is listening. And I hope that we're going to work on all those skills, acquiring those, developing those, honing those skills through this course. All right, well, that's kind of an introduction. Now I want to just end with this. As you read Chapter 1, you're using the fostering critical thinking, those 8 elements. Well, I don't know what you found out for those 8 for the course, for Chapter 1, but I'm going to just share what I would think. Chapter 1, the purpose of it is to help you understand what it means to be fair-minded as a critical thinker and how you can become one. Key questions are, what is fair-mindedness? How does one acquire that? What are the traits of a disciplined thinker that is pursuing fair-mindedness versus an undisciplined thinker? And that deals with the information concepts of fair-mindedness, sophistry, weak sense critical thinking, disciplined mind versus undisciplined mind. And what are the assumptions? The authors assume pretty much that you probably are not fair-minded. That if you're like most people, they're unreflective as critical thinkers. They really thought about their thinking, let alone thought about how to improve it, and how to be fair-minded, because their tendency would be egocentric or sociocentric, left in their default mechanisms of reasoning. Their conclusion is this: to develop as a fair-minded critical thinker, you need to acquire these traits of the disciplined mind. And you need to take charge of that. That's their inference. That's what they're inferring. The implications are, if you take it seriously, then you'll develop. And you'll see in Chapter 2 the different levels of development. If you don't, you'll default to be undisciplined and sloppy in your thinking. The point of view that they're presenting is more of coaching and encouraging you to and teach you how to become a critical thinker that's fair-minded. They're trying to motivate you. Well, hopefully that's helpful for the first week, and every week again read the welcome page. It's so important. It lines up and outlines and lists all the different activities and deadlines, and I hope you enjoy the course, and again you enjoy getting to know each other this week. Have a wonderful week, and God bless. Bye.